100% honest on this. Musically, there is some nasty music out there. I can't even play it. I heard some stuff the other day. You can't heal from that quickly. And the best way to describe it is if you imagine the gratuitousness of the current day hip hop, the sexy reds, the booty hole brownish, like just in there, like just dirty, right? But then you put it on the G side, right? And you know what I'm talking about. It's too graphic for me. It almost puts things in perspective, because here's a funny one, right? If you were a G, right, and you know what I'm saying when I say the G, I'm not talking about a gangster, you know what I'm saying, or an OG, I'm just saying if you're one of the G's, right, why aren't you offended or put off by all this overly heterosexual music? I always wondered that. Like if the roles were reversed and like all the music was G music, right? And I'm like driving in my car, I can't listen to the radio. I would be like, okay, this is enough. And personally, it's not the lifestyle. I don't have an issue with that. I got family. Look, I'm accepting of people because everybody's a person. So we're going to start with that. But what I'm saying is I don't want to hear about it. Like, I don't really explain what I do in the bedroom. I got kids, so I finished off, right? But I'm not going to I don't want nobody to hear all that. And so I don't want to hear all that about anybody else. I don't care what your situation is, really. It starts to become a little you know what I'm saying? Because they be saying some dirty stuff. I mean, it's dirty. It's dirty, bro. Like, it's dirty. And Tyler, the Creator, what's the other dude? Was it Lil Yachty? Definitely Tyler, the Creator, though. He started getting real weird with it. Like, he was getting on the radio, and he's like, yeah, I want to put it in your butt. Like, talking to Flex or somebody. Like, I was like, whoa. First of all, you disrespecting Funkmaster Flex. Let's start there. Secondarily, man, nobody want to hear all that. Because if that was a man saying that to a woman, it would be considered sexual assault or sexual harassment. So let's be real. Don't nobody need to hear all that shh. It's early. I'll be nice. And I'm only being nice because I understand that not everybody can, the tone police are constantly out there, constantly saying, oh, we don't like the way he was yelling and he was angry. And I'm not angry at all. It's just passion. I'll keep it respectful because I have people that I know in my family, close, who are not straight. And I don't see no difference in them because they're just people. And since I'm not in their bedroom, their life looks just like mine. You see what I'm saying? But I'm going to be real. If you decide to transform, I don't even want to, I'm going to stay off that street. I'm going to stay off that street because you can't even say nothing no more. I know I've been talking to y'all about protected groups. Let me explain protected groups to anybody that's just tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe. Throw a comment in the comment section. This is our Power Hour morning show here on Purge of the BS. Don't forget to tune in on our weekend show. I think it's Sundays at 9 p.m. That's like our weekend live show, full panel, that whole kind of situation. But anyway, since you guys are tuning in, and I kind of forgot what the hell I was just talking about. And then I started talking about the subscribing and stuff. But it was protected groups. There we go. All right. So protected groups, right? Everybody is a protected group. And you can speak to whatever on a group that you're protected through. So, for instance, for me, I can come on here and talk about black people, black males, males over 6 feet, males over 40 years old, people from the same state I'm from. Well, hold on. Let me see here, because the state would be too generic. But the point I'm trying to make is everything's a protected group. So you just have to be careful about talking about the groups you're not part of. So if I identified as trans, I could talk all the trans stuff I want. I can say whatever I want. Or if I identify as gay, I can say all the gay stuff I want. That's why they can say all that crazy stuff on the radio. And you're like, are you joking, dude? And see, that's Jay Giddens understands. The chat understands. The internet understands. But now I understand, because I didn't understand. I ain't gonna lie. And then I found out about protected groups, and after finding that part out, the rest was history. Now it's like, okay, I can say what I want, but I can't say what I want unless I'm willing to identify with the group to which I'm saying it about. You can speak about individuals. You can name names. You can point out faces, because that's not a protected group. That's an individual. So you can't generally speak about a whole class of people. But I will say this. I think it's a little backwards for the ans-tray people to be upset with the H-tray people, okay? For those of y'all that speak pig Latin. Because those H-tray people are putting on what they're calling a costume. Now, I wouldn't put no costume on. I'm not going to dress like a chick for anything. But definitely not at this point in my life. It would just look goofy. I'm a pretty big dude, and that would be like, people would think I'm going to do something wrong. But I'm going to keep it simple. I don't want boys of any type in the same bathroom with my granddaughters. Right? So that's a simple concept for me. I don't really care about all this identification. I just don't want little boys in the same bathroom with them. That's the concept, right? So it seems like we shouldn't really have, they already have a boys' room and a girls' room. So just, I don't know. I think they complicated stuff. I'll take it back to my original point of when we was younger. It just wasn't that complicated. Nobody had no pronouns and all of that. I was tripping. And if you were in like a sport and it happened to be co-ed, that was only until you were like 8, 9 years old. By the time you get to the teenage years, that's over with. They are not letting little boys and little girls play together. Now they got a lot of issues going on with this debate of allowing people into sports. And I know y'all, anybody that's been paying attention to this election stuff, Trump ain't with all that. And a lot of people are getting behind that. Now, Trump is a goofball. I'm not going to lie, the dude is goofy as hell. But some of the baseline concepts, he's winning on that. That's what he's winning on. He's not winning on intellect and like how cool he is with words. He's winning on like just baseline crap. Like not having, like parents not wanting their children to share the bathroom with the opposite sex especially at very young ages. In public spaces. Like imagine you go to a baseball game or something and you let your little girl go into the little girl's room, but you stand outside because you're a man, and some man goes in there, which I just don't want to have to deal with that. It just seems pointless to me. But you know what? Before I get myself canceled because I just said it was pointless, but I said it was pointless to me. I am not the reigning voice of the people, at least not yet. But just keep it real, man. Why are we God, it's so hard to speak on this internet these days. You never know what to say, how to say it, who's it going to offend, and you got to worry about it because you're just sharing an opinion. First Amendment, baby. I don't want, my granddaughter, my oldest grandchild, she's only a few years old. But I'm going to tell you what I don't want. I don't want nobody in the bathroom with her that don't have the same plumbing as her. I mean, I just don't. So here's the thing. If you stand on a concept like that and you throw a rock out into America and say, how many people don't want some, because they'll give you the picture in your head as some big burly ass dude like me, dressed as a woman, going up in there with somebody the size of my granddaughter, who's, what is she, 4 now? Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, that's the picture you get in your head. I can't put the picture in my head of some overly effeminate man that presents well enough that I wouldn't even notice that that was a male. I'm thinking of the dude that looked like me that's utilizing that as a backdoor into messing with children. And we already know this messing with children thing is going way too far. A lot of people didn't catch it, but there was recently another $800 million lawsuit to the Archdiocese for, it was like a class action lawsuit, over 1,000 victims of minor assault. And I don't mean minor like little assault. I mean, when they were minors, they were sexually assaulted. 1,000 cases, 1,000 people just got paid out of an $800 million pot. That's a lot of cases. That's a lot of don't say nothings. So I'm going to put it like this, because I'm getting ready to get out of here, because I'm starting to feel a certain type of way. I'm really starting to feel a certain type of way. I'm starting to feel like, even after the podcast yesterday talking about education and stuff, the attack is definitely on the children. And then when we go to protect the children, we're looked at as transphobes and all this other stuff. I don't really think that's fair. Because at the same time, the one person is thinking of the person that presents as some small, dainty woman, I'm worried about, I ain't gonna say, I'm worried about Dylan Mulvaney a little bit. That one's a little weird. But your brain is thinking of the big burly man. The brain thinks of the big burly man coming in, kicking open the stall door that your little girl is in. And if you don't see that as a picture, what picture are you seeing? I don't understand why that's a debate. I don't understand why we waste any time on that. We already created this. Actually, God created it. We just in it. So why are we blurring the lines so much? It's very confusing. It's very frustrating for people out here who's trying to protect their children from a world that's changing every day and becoming more and more vile at its core. People are doing wild stuff because of the internet. They see things like, man, I'm going to try that. They see somebody jump off a building, I'm going to try that. And now we got sexual deviants everywhere. Some that are even straight and purporting that they're trans. Like, how backwards is that? That would be like if you was at I'm taking you back to the stadium. We're at the stadium at the game, and there's a chick in the women's line for the bathroom. And the women's bathroom line was long as hell, right? And so the chick comes over to the men's line and says that she identifies as a male just so she could use the bathroom. And we were like, all right, we let her go in there. We didn't think about it. We watched the door for it and everything. But the same thing in reverse is definitely a problem for me. And you know why that is? Because in your mind, you pictured the big burly man going one way, and you also pictured the small dainty woman and the big burly men in the line that would have done anything they had to if, let's say, their little boy was in there and a woman came into the men's room and messed with a little boy. So we're not as afraid of that simply because we would expect the men in the situation to just handle that. But in the opposite, we're worried about the big burly man. So how about we take that worry off the table and we keep the men over where the men need to be and put the women over there and just everybody just chill out. If you want to go out in public dressed a certain way, then that's just how you dress that day. That's your outfit. That's it. I don't know, man. It's confusing. It's confusing, man. And it's very frustrating to the sane thinkers of the world who are like, why would you do that? Why is that a thing? So nonetheless, I know I mentioned that, but that was for a lot of people, because folks were asking, why would half of the population be voting or thinking of voting for Donald Trump, right? And the answer to that was very simple. His lower end concepts are ringing with the people in America, like that one. I guarantee if you give me a swath of 1,000 random people in America and threw a rock 10 times, 8 out of 10 of them people are going to say they don't want little boys in the bathroom with the little girls. So if you stick to a concept that simple, you can get 80% of the people to agree with that. It's a smart idea. It's a smart idea. I mean, and that's all it is. I don't know why they couldn't answer that question. We're like, what's wrong with the people? Why are they doing this? Why are they disenfranchised? Are they upset? No, the concepts are simple. And people grasp simple. That's why they don't like word salad and all that. They like simple. Keep it simple. What's the phrase? Keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple. Don't complicate it. Don't go out here putting dildos in your panties, ladies, trying to act like you're a transitioning male going into female. Like, I don't even know what kind of sense does that make? And then you got me in the line at the grocery store tapping my wife like, do you see this over here? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's tough to decipher, and people are really just, nobody can seem to answer the questions. So I go to the internet with the hopes that we can have a real conversation about these concepts and have a real understanding of where we're really trying to go as a people. Because if you travel around the world, it ain't all the same. You think that, but it's really not like that. Certain places are way more strict. And I don't want to say more sensible about certain things, but they stick to their guns, and they don't care what everybody else is saying. Well, you need to accept this and accept that. Well, why? It confuses people. We like simple. That's what I'm trying to say. Can we keep it simple? I don't know, man. I'm not going to blame social media for people being, out of it. But the truth is, I think we like exchanged a portion of the brain for convenience. That came up. It's like we exchanged a piece of our memory ability and our cognitive ability to have the convenience of entertainment at hand. That's what I call the social media era. Entertainment at hand. Anytime you got a signal, even if you don't have a signal, you got stuff downloaded. Entertainment at hand. Anytime you want to be entertained, come consume. And before you know it, you got people who've decided they're going to consume that content and say, well, maybe it's better to identify as that. That seems to get more likes. That seems to get more clicks. And now folks are just doing stuff for the sake of the bag. Even some of those discussions about the bathrooms are only even in court because somebody that had some money said, hey, let's bring this up. I don't want to talk about it no more. It's very confusing. Now, understand the family bathroom at the airport where you can take the babies in and the whole family can go in. Because, all right, it makes sense. But what icon do you put? You're just going to put bathroom on the bathrooms now? You're going to take the little guy down and the little lady down with the dress? You going to take them off? I don't know. But I do know it's confusing. And of course, Jay Giddens, you can clip whatever you want, man. This stuff should be set to do clips, remixes, and all that right off of YouTube. It's already set up that way. So whatever you want, whatever you need, man, make sure you give me a shout out in the post, and we can start having these discussions. But nonetheless, I'm going to leave y'all with the question. And it's a simple question. How much is it worth to you? Is it priceless? Like you would never do that? And I'm not asking for no answers. I'm just thinking, since we all live in this world and you've seen what I've shown you, not only rap artists trying to identify with other areas, but the so-called face of masculinity changing up a little bit. I think they're just trying to soften everybody up for something. And if you soften up the population enough, then they won't be able to defend themselves when the real stuff starts happening. That's what I think is going on. They done softened everybody up. He just malleable as hell these days. Advertising works. Propaganda works. You understand what I'm saying? It all works. And we are the product of it. Half of the stuff we buy, and I mean as a population, because not everybody shops like that, but half of the stuff that you buy is because you saw an advertisement for it. It's designed this way, guys. And if you're not waking up yet, I don't know what to tell you. But what I can tell you is don't nobody need to be identifying as something that they're not. If you ain't that, then you ain't that. Just be something else. Or be what... See, I'm about to get in trouble. Jay Giddens, I'm getting in trouble. Zora Z, I'm getting in trouble today, and I'm trying to keep it so tame, but you can't speak on these things. And I just want to make a simple point. It's just confusing to me. And nobody can have a real conversation without, you're this and you're that. I don't even know to be that because I still don't understand it. So I can't have a phobia of something I don't even understand. Or have a real concept of, or as, why is this a thing? Why is this bathroom thing a thing? Why is, you know what I'm saying? Why is that even a conversation when people are out here struggling, just trying to raise kids in general? I don't care, but I do care. But I don't want to have an elongated conversation about concepts that should be simple. It's very frustrating. Folks said I was getting angry, and yes, a little bit, because I don't see it. I don't even see the case. Like, what's the point? Because the lines are shorter in one bathroom or the other, or the ones that identified a certain way were what, getting beat up in the bathroom that was with the gender that they were categorized as? I don't know. Nobody's come to me and told me that. But what I do know is, when my granddaughter goes in there, if a big burly man my size with a dress come, and I'm watching the door to make sure nobody's weird going in there, he's not getting in there. And here's the worst part, I would go to jail for that. I would. In today's world, if a big burly man was walking up into a restroom that my granddaughter is currently in, and I stop him and say, nah, you can't go in there because my baby girl is in there, I could get arrested for that. Boy, that is a serious mind twist right there, man. Wow. That, my friends, is the bullshit.
Oh, yeah.